everyone, this is Sunette, and in this video we are opening up about relationships. So recently I have had interactions with a couple, and some interesting things that stood out in relation to what they shared they were going through, and much of that obviously I myself could also relate to. So this is to do with the tendency to compare your, what I would refer to your coupleness, to that of others. And let's say you sometimes see a couple do something in a certain way, like kissing more, or, you tend to kind of zone on how those lips are touching, and they seem to just linger just a little bit longer, and it seems so sensual. Or, you tend to magnify your eyes. Suddenly your eyes has got the zooming ability, and they're like zooming in on how, the woman is touching the man, and you're like, I wish I could touch my partner maybe in that way. Maybe I should try it. Like, how is she doing it? It's like maybe gentle, very nice and soft and elegant, and up there, he seems to like it. So I've been there myself. It's like you almost become so obsessed and possessed with different couples, and it's like now suddenly, because you've got a problem with it, you see it everywhere. It's funny how that happens. I also found it in my life where I longed for a relationship, and I had one a long time ago, but it was not how I had imagined it to be or what I'd ever seen it to be, So I was like, but surely all couples are the same, right? Why aren't we just like all of them that I've always seen, that I've always wanted? What's going on? And because it was an issue in me, it just suddenly felt like I was surrounded by couples everywhere. Everywhere I went, there were couples, and they were just these perfect couples, and they were hugging and kissing and holding and laughing. I was like, really? What's going on? But eventually, over time, what I realized is that, because so many couples go through this within themselves, some way or another, is that oftentimes, firstly, what we see out there, especially in public, in the world out there, we really don't know what it is that we're looking at. We've got no idea. We have also got no idea in the sense that we've got no reference as to what that couple possibly went through in their life to create that unique relationship. I myself look at my relationship, and I've also slowed myself down in the last couple of weeks since this couple had come to really understand more a bit of who I am in my expression, in the way I laugh or hug or kiss or touch or walk with, because sometimes it's just so natural and comfortable. But it was a good cross-reference for me to reflect on this, because I realized much of the way I laugh, the sound of my laugh, is because I'm at a place of a comfortable expression within myself, with my partner, very comfortable in that moment. And it's also reciprocal in that he'd support that moment of my expression and my laughing, sometimes even deliberately bring it out by tickling or making fun of me, or really announcing my most embarrassing moments to absolute strangers. And but the thing within that is, it took me years with him, and lots of moments, lots of challenges, lots of ups and downs inside myself to get myself to that sound of something as simple as laughter. We so often take for granted even the little things in our relationship that's already here, in the sense that we don't realize who we are in the living and the expression of that moment actually took a long time to create. And same with the way I touch, even into the way I kiss, the way those moments seem fleeting, seems quick. But with slowing down myself in those moments, I could trace back and see throughout the years what him and I had walked for me to be able to express that and for him to support that, and also, it's like a give and receive between him and I. You can't necessarily also only express yourself in that way with someone who has not also equally at some level walked quite a path with you inside themselves in their own way. I mean, even in relationships, what stands out is the fact that there's a lot in my relationship that I went through that had just to do with me. There's personal, individual, deep things that you go through that you don't necessarily share, because mostly you work through them, you change, you move, and other things you do need to talk about and address and share and get out. But I would say one of the main things with that comfortable, that expressiveness, that openness in my relationship, but that's also me being me, me being me in that in a relationship, you change. Yes, you do. It's always best, though, to change for the better. In the sense that I can see that a lot of me has changed, but I'm not saying like I've become a completely different person. No. I would more say that there were many potential dormant expressions within me that my partner opened up and that I started familiarizing myself with, getting to know, redefine, and started living and exploring for me with him. And therefore we're assisting and supporting one another. And that's what I found relationships are also all about. You've kind of got to look into each other and see, and even look into yourself and ask yourself, okay, what is this relationship opening up in me? What expressions? What challenges? Yes, everyone, the good and the bad. Because, in relationships, it challenges, let's call it the bad stuff in you, so that you can understand it, work through it, and change it in that relationship, where it's the most safest, most comfortable, most intimate, where you feel most protected, that you can talk to someone about what you're going through and find a way together to resolve it and support one another to do that. Then the good things, you do what you can to bring out even more in one another, to strengthen it in one another. I mean, myself and my partner do two completely different things in our lives, but there's these good expressions within us that I can support him in what he does and what he needs to be. Like for him and in his career, he needs more communicative skills, social skills, sharing, teaching, but also being authoritative. For me, I also need to learn more, let's say, leadership, guiding, direction, creativeness. So even though we do two different things, we know how to support one another within those two different things, strengthen our strengths. And then our weaknesses, mostly we walk through ourselves, or if it gets really tough, we'll come together and start talking about it and going, right, face to face, always, really need some help here. And it's also a good thing to create that space in a relationship where you sit face to face, you look at each other in the eye, and you really share your problems, your issues that you're going through, and you both commit to finding a way to help each other to resolve it. Within that, just sticking to that day by day and throughout the relationship, I learned more about myself and who I am and what I can do, what I can't do, what I'm good at, what I'm not, what I need to work with. That's always the scary thing about relationships, is that they are a very good mirror to yourself, okay? So my suggestion is to those who see other couples, what you shouldn't look at? You shouldn't be looking at the couple. Remove the coupleness. Look at realizing that there's two individuals. It's two individuals that have walked a path alone, yet together. I mean, most couples can really see, even in a relationship, you still mostly walk the things you're going through inside yourself alone. Relationships are like this. It's two individuals, yes, connecting, but you're still an individual. So if your individual mind processes life, relationships, things, memories that you go through in random moments throughout your day. So therefore, what I've learned to do is, instead of looking at couples as just a couple, I start looking at them, okay, who's that individual? What stands out about them for me? So, for example, the kissing or the touch I used in the beginning. I wonder what that woman went through. Yes, to have touch like that. Did she maybe do ballet or dancing? Is she maybe gentle by nature? Or was she really always hard on herself, and somewhere in her life she learned what it means to be gentle and can now express it with her partner? So much more to relationships and couples than what the eyes see, especially through the eyes of comparison. All right, everyone, some more dimensions and points to consider in relationships, and I hope it will assist and support. Thank you very much.